The Financial Sector Conduct Authority has published a draft declaration of crypto assets as a financial product under the Financial Advisory Intermediary Services Act. Interested parties have until the 28th of January 2021 to submit their comments. Well, to get more detail on this, I'm joined by Brandon Topham. He's the Divisional Executive for Enforcement at the FSCA. Pardon me. Thank you so much for joining us, Brandon. Now, what does this declaration of crypto assets as a financial product seek to do?
Well, it tells everybody of our intention that we want to treat crypto assets as a form of a financial asset so that we can bring the intermediaries and the advisors who play in this field into the regulatory realm. There are a lot of foreign organizations, many of them are, shall we say, criminal organizations which are playing in this area and are stealing money from the public. So one way to prevent that is to bring everybody under our regulatory arm.
Yes. Speaking to what you've just mentioned there, how widespread is it? I mean, are you getting a lot of anecdotal evidence of South African consumers losing a lot of money due to bad advice and or scams?
Yeah, well, previously everybody was in forex trading, and recently everybody's down to crypto trading. So many South Africans have no savings of note, but they seem to be putting whatever they've got into these schemes, investment schemes. Some of them are legitimate and many are less than legitimate.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a large amount of greed in our market and ignorance as well, which is allowing people to go into these schemes, for lack of a better word to describe that.
And not a great combination. So members of the public have until the end of January to submit their comments on the draft. So when do you hope that the declaration will actually form part of the Financial Advisory Intermediary Services Act?
Well, we obviously have to take into account whatever the public come up with, but the inputs to date are very positive. Most of the industry players, the legitimate South African industry players, are quite supportive of the idea. So we're not anticipating any problems. So it should be quite fast after the deadline has been reached. So early in the new year, let's hope we can get the designation through. But the real work starts thereafter. Then we've got to put into place the different conduct standards and the different rules which these special class of financial service providers are going to have to comply with. And that might take a little bit more time. But during the course of next year, we hope to finalise this.
So you premised the declaration on the work of the Crypto Assets Regulatory Working Group. That body is seized with looking at regulation of crypto assets. What other work is being done in this regard? And are we going to see more regulation of this arena as it grows globally and here at home?
I think all the players in this intergovernmental task force are looking at it from their perspective. So I definitely think there's going to be some work from the FinServ committee at the Reserve Bank. There's going to be a little bit more information coming from them going forward. And from our side, there might be other areas where we want to treat specific classes of crypto assets in the future. And try and regulate that. But at this point in time, we're specifically only looking at the intermediary and advisory stuff, and we're cautioning the public just to understand that just because we're regulating the advisors and intermediaries doesn't mean we're endorsing the underlying product. There are many investment products on the market at the moment which are not appropriate for most South African citizens. In the coming months, there'll be more clarity given in this regard.
We know that you and the Reserve Bank have play different roles in the financial services area, but presumably when it comes to this area and any other, you work together in the sense that you don't work in silos and you make sure that you complement each other's work.
Correct. And we're also working with the Financial Intelligence Centre, with the South African revenue authorities. So it is a very wide group of people that are involved in this.
All right. Brandon, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for giving us an explanation around the new developments. And of course, the deadline for those submissions is the 28th of January 2021.